Looks like Leslie Pro is re-entering the names as we speak. I'm not sure if it was a accidental button press or what. So, but everyone's back on the ready screen, ready to go. Oh, okay. Am I unmuted now? All right. All right. Well, dang. I did my whole intro and everything. Today, Il Tempo versus Leslie Pro. We have short floor skips, 2 floors only. Put your vote in for whether we pet the dog or not. Or actually, just whether the dog's in the sea. Every dog's had a day, and the dog has had many days. So we'll see if it has yet another day, or night, I should say, tonight. So get in your votes if you're a voting person. And we're off to the races. So with to explain the short floor skips a bit more. Ordinarily in Ancient Cave, there are a variety of rooms where you can skip between floors. Ordinarily, you can only advance one floor at a time through by beating the Shining Spot boss in their typical Shining Spot like sanctuary room, like in vanilla. However, the Monkey Cave rooms and a few select other rooms, such as the Signed Banana item room and the Forsyth Museum, giving the Tiny Ruby to the doorman in the Summer Museum, etc., allow you to skip floors anywhere from 2 to 5 in vanilla, I should say in a normal rule set. However, with this challenge flag on, every floor or every skip only goes 2 floors, with the exception being some special floor skips, namely the very rare skip. I don't know if I think maybe has been pulled off once in a tournament, where if you defeat Master Belch, or not Master Belch, regular Belch in the factory, using the Jar of Fly Honey, then that also opens up the ladder between the sauna spot in Center Valley with the kind of the second floor where you can access a shop, and that can be that's not beholden to the 2-floor skip. That's kind of a special extra skip that defies regular skip logic. Unlikely to make a difference because it's very rare, 1, that you find the Fly Honey, 2, that you also find Belch, and 3, that you find either room where you can actually do that skip. But we shall see. Everyone getting off to a fairly cozy start here, been fairly linear so far. Leslie Pro and Temple in the same room right now. We found the Mock Pizza phone number. You can only call for delivery. Okay. All right, so I will switch over to the side stream here. So give me a second, folks, to pop out the chat and head on over there. So it looks like both runners ran into a dead end here at the end of this pathway. So it'll be a little bit before we continue on finding the right way. The other flags that could have been chosen but weren't for the seed, since each runner has the ability, they're given a set of 3 challenge flags and are allowed to strike 1 from the list. Our other options were no Paula, which is a pretty rough, because you do not have Psychic Shield and you're down 1 kid with plenty of offensive magic. Excuse me there. And the second one is something called the M3 flag. We're not seeing it here, but it further randomizes enemy appearances. So for example, we saw the sharks there. The sharks could appear as a different enemy type. So they could look like a diamond or, say, a Starman. Even though they're the same enemy, they just have a different visual on the overworld appearance, as well as in-battle appearance that matches that overworld sprite. So they could be like, say, an Ego Orb on the map, and they look like an Ego Orb in battle. But they'll still retain the same characteristics of the enemy they replaced. So the Pokepunk would still be the Pokebug, no matter what it'll look like, but it's harder to identify where you're at, which sort of combos with the short floor skips, since as long as you maintain awareness of what floor you're on, you always know you're 2 away from that. So you can sort of figure out where you are without having to rely on enemy visuals. But today, just short floor skips, so we'll see how that comes in handy. It tends to me, it seems to make the races take a little longer, since you don't have those dramatic skips from, say, 4-5 to 4-9, and things like that, but that doesn't mean there's not a lot of skill involved. Both Leslie Pro and Temple are still making their way through floor 1. Leslie's a little bit far behind, or not far behind, but a little bit behind, is likely going to, at least I think if Leslie goes right here, will end up in the desert along with Temple, but this big cavern and giant step has multiple different doors, so we'll see which one Leslie goes through. Otherwise, Temple did find one shop, which was there's also another shop there. I don't know if he took a look at. There's a lot of enemies here in the desert. I don't know if that vendor had super bombs or not. It's a little early to be thinking about super bombs or even big bottle rockets. These early game enemies don't give a lot of money, and I don't think we found an ATM yet anyway. And the other actual shop we found was at Summer's Restaurant, where you can't sell things anyway, so you can't get a little bit of cash. This could be useful if there were, like, say, regular bombs. Certainly would deal more damage than, say, just bashing for 1, since I don't think we found much equipment at this point yet. So Leslie Pro did take the right exit and is now in the desert along with Il Temple. Here we go. There are super bombs here. If you were confident, you could set your mouse here and come back here when you have more money, but being on floor 1, it would be rather rough to get back. We'll see if Leslie Pro buys that broken gadget. That if Jeff can repair it, it can be a pretty strong weapon early in the game. Temple finding the first ATM, this handy dandy bench. And I think he's in the sanctuary room for the sewers, so we'll be making his way to fight the boss here soon. We haven't seen a boss list yet, so we'll see who's here. I think the most dangerous enemy that could show up here is, I think, Starman Jr., who tends to be resistant to Elemental, but with that regular enemy swirl, it's just a cultist. So a couple of freezes will take him out unless, yep, just one freeze, done. You tried to call for more, but it didn't work, so we're in good shape here. Honestly, might not have been bad if they did call for help. That would have been a little more EXP at this point in the game, so. Ooh. So, we have here a much harder encounter, and yeah, you're not going to be able to escape the Robo there, Temple, unfortunately. So we have a much harder encounter here. We have the robots in the hallway. If they are freeze resistant, it might be a little difficult to get through them. They can also call for help. Looks like it's doing freeze betas are doing about 100, so they're about 50% resistant to freeze-ish. I forget the exact tiers. I think it's like 10, 30, 60, and like 99 or something like that. But if things start getting out of hand, we might have to use our big bottle rocket just to take it out. This droid apiece. This room also has a secondary robot over on the left side, but if we happen to get some good levels on Paula and Pooh here, we might have enough freezes to take out the robot. Leslie Pro not far behind, does not taking that first. Oh, is that an ant on the floor? It's a slug. Surprise slug in the desert. Oh, and we have Summers, so we can check the boss list, so we will see whether Dog is in the seat or not. If we find one of the skip rooms, that will take us to floor 4, since we can't go to floor 0. So the only way to go is to 4. That other door will also take us likely to somewhere else on floor 2. It could potentially be up to floor 6, I think. We have Thunder and Storm, no dog this seed. The dog is not having its day today, unfortunately. It's taking a rest. So the boss list didn't look too bad. Trillion Inch Sprouts can be a bit of a bother. It can diamondize you, can paralyze you, that's all. Stuff you don't really like. Also think I saw Shroom, and being mastermized can also be an issue, particularly in Ancient Cave, where full heals are not readily accessible. Yeah, we don't have Starman DX either. Those are that and Dog are the two big ones that are difficult. Primarily. I would also put Electrospectre in that list too. Without a Franklin badge, if you don't have the offense to take it out and it doesn't use Neutralizer to get rid of its psychic power shield, it can be pretty difficult to take out because it's just slamming you with thunders and you have no way to resist thunder. Other than finding a Franklin badge in a chest. Leslie's still on 1, going to check out the shop on the right side. Multi-bottle rockets. If only we had about $2,000 and change. But Leslie Pro does find burgers. Burgers can be used for up to 3 monkey skips. So Temple does find a pizza skip. If Temple can find a phone, he can grab a pizza and do another skip. That also looks like a different skip room than the one that we took in here, so possible we might more likely to find something that might take us to floor 6. It will at least take us to floor 4. The other door could take us to 6. It could also take us somewhere on floor 2. For Leslie's luckily, he might also find a signed banana in one of these chests and would be able to take that skip, which would be somewhere on floor 3. He does find some decent weapons. You always want having some weaponry on your kit to start off with is much easier than the alternative, which is just bashing them with your bare hands. I thought that Starman might have been an enemy, but was not so. Sometimes in that room, because the top is scaled differently than the bottom, sometimes you can have spawn bleed over and you can fight more advanced enemies there. Find yet another skip room, this one with King Banana, I think Ruler? No, Hamburger. Temple did not find the burgers though, so Leslie does have the advantage here. Although I don't remember the way to the Shining Spot here. I don't know if it was through Giant Step here or not. Carrot Key, that's yet another skip. We have not seen Dalam yet, but it's yet another advantage Leslie may have in the future, should we find the skip in question. If chat remembers, do you remember where the path to the sanctuary was? I thought it might have been through the Monkey Cave entrance, but Leslie skipped over it, so I wasn't sure if I'm misremembering or what. Because Temple did not fully explore that, or did not explore that desert as much. So I'm wondering if Leslie... oh, Fresh Egg is also another skip, but it's likely to hatch before we find anything. Although, we could find one of these, this door or the door on the top could go to a Monkey Cave skip. And we find the Giant Step Sanctuary in Giant Step. Temple continuing through floor 2. Unfortunately, did not have any skip items for these skips that he found. And unfortunately, found circled back onto the Summer's main drag. We have Pencil Eraser too. Yeah, Leslie Pro probably wondering what exactly they missed, but we'll take the time to save the game. ended up taking the mouse back to the starting position for some reason. Perhaps thinking that he might have missed a door here. Wait, did that really happen? Did the bottom of really go to the top of the boarding school? He did, so Leslie did just save, so if he wanted the mouse back, it would be a pretty quick soft reset. He might be checking some of these earlier doors that he did not go through, thinking it might have been earlier on. And we have the Eraser room, which would take us to floor 3. Yep, Leslie resetting back, having checked the rooms at the earlier portion of the floor. We'll now have to figure out what door they missed, but... they say an eraser a day keeps the doctor away. You know, raises them from existence, but... it's a rhyme for kids, so we don't say that part. Temple continuing to make their way through floor 2, trying to find the path forward. Unfortunately, this portion of the Cave of the Past is a dead end. There is one present you can take a look at if you're feeling bold. Hopefully Leslie returns to the desert. Oh, so we have Temple here. Has the opportunity to go through Dungeon Man, which itself is a skip. I don't think I think it's a special skip that's not beholden to the usual skip logic of 2 or 2 through 5. Finding these DX waters is pretty good. That's a lot of PP restoration for Pooh. Always good to pick up a bunch of that. A little expensive, but around 40 PP use will really keep Pooh going. That's a lot of sharks. Leslie not going through the desert, which I think... Still somehow, a Temple got a red swirl. I'm not sure how that happened. Wait, are these actual mooks? Is this where... Jesus. So, the good thing is, the visit from the Star Master does set your save point, or your respawn points, at that location, so... Even after getting bodied by these mooks, which I guess Upper Scaraba is like floor 8 or 9 or something, because that's... I mean, we see ducks and noosemen out here, so it's clearly not normal. Temple can get burgers here. Has the money to do so. Has seen a burger skip. But the Dungeon Man skip is one way, so... Now, Bear could have been a Mighty Bear 7. But we see Cultists, so this really wasn't all that far. Temple taking the time to rest. Leslie Pro, I think, heading backwards through the floor. I'm seeing ravens and not, Yep. One of the unfortunate things about Ancient Cave is enemies can't ambush you after you respawn from a safe point or after resting on these benches. And we only have Paula up right now, but luckily it looked like it was only regular Mighty Bears and not Mighty Bear 7. Which, depending on whether you wanted to get flung far in the seat or not, but we know the Temple didn't go finds himself on the other side of the pencil eraser, so this is probably floor 4, actually. I'm sure we'll probably run into some of the other skips that we've seen before from floor 2. Oh no, we got oh, but I got the green, so that's good. May or may not, yeah, just run away. But the surprise there could have taken, probably could have taken out the puppet with the freeze beta, unless it happened to be like the Alright, well this is the double burger skip. We see it from the other side now. Oh, no, this is a regular skip. Okay, the other one is monkey. Leslie Pro continuing to be lost here. Unfortunate. Has now backtracked to the beginning of the floor, as we've seen. The top of the boarding school goes to the bottom, and then that room right there I think is, yeah, the mock pizza room, and then one of these is spawn. Thankfully, Leslie Pro can just reset back. At this point, he might be thinking, he should be thinking the desert. Unless Leslie Pro got some levels or a loot that he really wants to keep, I would just reset back to Giant Step and go from there. Having taken to the Topola skip, also one way unless you happen to have a backstage pass. I think we were on floor 4, so this could be 6. It could also be 2. This is 6, probably, because you got a Queen of Defense and not some Garbo. I haven't seen any enemies. Oh, nope, there's some... It looks like, yeah, spiders. So this could be Sanctuary 4. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Thankfully, Temple does have the respawn point at a full heal, so we'll get all the kids back. Yeah. You will have to exit and re-enter the room to re-enable the Starman revive, but... If Temple remembers where that monkey cave was, because I believe he ran into it earlier in floor 2, we can just skip right back to floor 6. Ah, okay, demarked the Topola Theater. Just in case it went backwards. But now with the full crew running, just have to be careful of these enemies. Those are Foresight enemy or Moonsight enemies. I would not take Moonsight. I would take regular Foresight human enemies. So they're kind of whatever. Leslie continuing their extensive search of floor 1. Unfortunate that they have yet to find the exits. However, in the grand scheme of things, not too far behind Temple, because he does have hamburgers, and one of the hamburger skips did lead to floor 4, and that was at least close to the Topola Theater door, so... Leslie probably gotta check out the monkey cave. I think that's what you're missing. Oh, so that's a Jank Rain if I ever saw one. Yes, Leslie would have to get to floor 2, but I think it was only a couple rooms from the desert where, yeah, right here is the sanctuary spot. So, Leslie's probably gonna check the other rooms. I forget if one of them was a double burger room or not. Kind of remembered seeing something like that, but forget if it was on floor 2 or not. But if they do make it to floor 2, they can eventually catch up by going through Man K-Man. And we saw PRV there. We have the pencil eraser you can go through to the other side for a skip. No, that's an ATM. That's quite a bit of money trudging through floor 1. Yeah, Leslie does have a lot more skip items, so there's more opportunities for Leslie to advance forward, should he find them. We do know of at least one that will at least get him fairly close to Temple's position, so I wouldn't say Leslie's out yet. Still plenty of seed to go, we're not even at the 30-minute mark. I wouldn't buy a snake either, simply because they are less effective. They're not as effective as poisoning as a viper. I don't really recall the details, but that's what I remember. Oh, is this super bombs? There are super bombs here at Upper Scaraba in the hotel, and it's French Vanilla location. Man, we got like 2 French vanilla locations here. It's kind of crazy. Gonna fight this bum, this beach bum. Leslie now made it to floor 2. Hoping he will find one of the skips that Temple did and make their way to... Okay, good. Got the green, but I don't think you can run from cops still. I couldn't, yeah, okay. Yeah, cops are unrunnable in the vanilla game, and that hasn't changed here. The sign could paralyze Temple, that's not so great. It's actually, keeping the unrunnable flag on enemies is actually pretty rough, because you can't run from cultists, which usually isn't an issue. I mean, the boss fight we have with the cultists you can't run from anyway. Cops are generally a non-issue by the time you find them, but the one that actually is a problem is are the mini barfs, because if you find Belch's factory early, there's several static encounters with them in there. They can call for help, and if you're not in a good position to deal with them, like you're crying, or you don't have the PSI, they tend to be resistant to freeze. Temple finding the floor 6 boss. I don't recall who this was. It might be Shroom? It wasn't really anything, I would say, super dangerous. I don't know, it's Trillion Edge. Poor Jeff here is paralyzed from the earlier encounter with the stop sign. Trillion Edge can be quite dangerous. It has flash, it has the diamondizing gaze, it can also paralyze. Yep, here's paralyzed coming out. Did not work on C, who's already paralyzed, so didn't really matter in the end. Okay, Leslie Pro finding the hamburger skip right next to the King Banana skip is now near Temple, where Temple found South Scaraba. I don't quite remember where that was in Tucson, but Leslie's probably going to grab the chest that's down here in Lower Tucson. It's up a little further west. There you go. Right there, yeah. Point of Slumber, not a bad defense item. Yeah, we got Paula Diamondize over on Temple side, but it looks like I'm guessing Jeff actually was able to mirror into Trillion Edge Sprout, because Jeff is no longer paralyzed. I don't think he has any paralyzed recovery options, but now Trillion Edge is protected by Psychic Shield. Gonna have to waste a bunch of Psychic points. Who does have a lot of water though, so not the worst. But now he's tame with 2 kids diamondized. Not a great situation. It's really hard to cure diamondize, but it does make it through and is now on floor 7. Floor 7, we can skip to 9, although we don't. So we'll likely be looking for skips to head off to Gygus. These ants are giving Leslie Pro the business. You don't really want to mess with red ants. So we have a skip here already. This could be to 9. If it is to 9, it'll be out that right door there. No, it's still, that could have been, okay, we got Starman, that's probably 9. We just need to okay, we were able to get the green. It was a little weird there, but we got the green. We're in pretty good position. It's always good to see 3 here on floor 9. It might get super bombs. We got the baddest beam, which is great because Jeff is one of 2 kids not diamondized right now, and now actually has a weapon. It's a little unfortunate actually that hospital room next door. I think that's the one in Happy Village, which does have the nurse in there. So if our kids were actually KO'd, they could be revived there, but they're diamondized, so the nurse can't help them, unfortunately. So Temple now ordering a large pizza in preparation for Gygus. We do have 3 chests here, so no super bombs. You can try and gamble on bottle rockets, but it's fairly unlikely without a rabbit foot you're gonna hit old Pokey. Hopefully Ill Temple doesn't accidentally throw away this good equipment. Yeah, one more chest up here in the upper right. We got the Ego Orb coming out from Leslie Pro scouring Tucson here. Pro's Curse, we can use that to poison Gygus. Oh, we got Mole Cave. Mole Cave with floor 9 floor 9 treasures that could be very lucrative, but also very time-consuming. Don't blame Temple for not wanting to go through it with only 2 kids alive. And we do have a sleep point, but not a... that's not going to cure our Diamond. Oh, just barely saw that Starman hiding down there. LZ Pro now in a rough position with both Ness and Pooh KO'd. If he happens to find that South Scarabo room, he'll be sitting pretty. Ooh. We got a fresh egg here, which Leslie Pro did find earlier, but doesn't have one now. This is a ruler. I don't know if Temple found this one. This could be to... okay, we're in North Scaraba, so this is floor 6. You can also check because he's going to go right over here, talk to the guy. 6th floor, yep, we went forward. We got Trillion Edge Sprouts. Leslie Pro now going to check the shop over here, see if there's anything good. There's a lot of good stuff, but he has no money to get any of the good stuff. Aside from the bottles of DX water, as mentioned earlier, very good item for Pooh. Manages to get the green, very good. Ill Temple still making their way through 3, looking for something. Sea Pendant, always good to see. Don't throw it away. You could... okay, we got Jeff all loaded for bear here. Which is good, because 1 of 2 kids up right now. You can also check the, oh, we got the hype room. It's a heavy bazooka, hungry H3 sucker, regular bazooka, talisman coin, earth pendant, that's okay, lucky coin, moonbeam gun. Man, we got all sorts of crazy stuff in there. You love to see it. Moonbeam gun is better than the baddest beam. The baddest beam is only the 3rd baddest beam. Sad to say, but it is true. Oh no, the diamond! Oh, that's... whew, only a regular black swirl. Yo! Pooh taking mortal damage. Unfortunately, Jeff here is only our mirror kid, is not the one with prey, so unfortunately, having all this amazing equipment is useful for the floor exploration, but not particularly amazing for taking on Gygus. If Paula is the prey kid, she's going to be fairly behind in levels that could be detrimental to her survival. Pooh running out of PP fast, but I think Temple still has water. Yeah, both racers struggling with kids being down. Oh, and we have the unassuming local guy going to use the restroom in an unassuming local place. Temple has not yet found the way out, is heading up toward, I believe, the Hintman room. Or the Hintman house, I should say, not the room. Leslie Pro continuing to move through floor 6, did not find a way toward Trillion Sprout yet. It was one of these doors in North Scaraba, I'm pretty sure. Eating the boiled egg for some HP. Can only use healing items right now. You have no healing kids up. Yeah. Couldn't outrun those diamonds. Unfortunately, Temple's going to have to take to the mines to find the way forward. We did find a lot of good stuff. With any luck, we'll find some more pendants. That's really about all you could really maybe ask for, except maybe brain food lunch. Oh, Temple did not line up properly with the Starman. Just gets a regular combat. Horn of Life does cure Diamond. I don't know how much money Temple has, or if there's an ATM nearby. Oh, Leslie taking another red. Now, this is also a good spot to set the mouse, because you can just come back here and set more mice, although you do have to give it to someone who can use mice. That's the more shiny coin. Sun Guts Pill, not very useful in vanilla with vanilla Earthbound mechanics. He's going to actually start checking the holes on the right side. There's actually a hole on the left side. One present in this room all the way down. It's where I think Pooh's diadem is in vanilla. Not really what you're hoping to... It's a little out of the way to try doing that. We got the green. So we can run away from this encounter, Leslie said. Very good. Temple just going to work back to get past these encounters. Leslie unable to get back in the pyramid. Is now facing down the Hyper Monster Mook. We'll probably just reset... Oh, yeah, well... I just reset back. There's actually a fairly easy to get present down south here. Yeah, Temple remembered that there's one right down here. Fairly easy to despawn enemies to get to it. Yeah, just right there. Gaia Beam, Jeff's best beam. It's actually like 15 better than the Moonbeam gun, so it's actually pretty good. Unfortunately, Leslie, I think the way forward is through that floor. I'm pretty sure the pyramid was just the skip you took to get onto this floor. Temple getting that pizza, that large pizza, getting ready for Gygus. Is trying to despawn these enemies. Is going to take the warm fights. Probably won't OKO it because only two kids, but you always want to kind of use the bazooka if you can against these worms because they have really high evasion thanks to their high speed. And they always use fire, which is annoying. Elder Pro continuing to search the rooms in Scaraba, hoping to find a way through that's not through the third sanctuary. Leslie could take the skip back to floor 4 and hope to find a spot there. Temple finding yet another doctor's office who can't help him. Please, my friends, they are hard as rocks. Sounds like there's a thunderstorm going on outside, so I apologize if I suddenly cut out. Leslie hoping to get a favorable enemy formation here. Alright, so with $6,000, Temple could go back and grab some Horns of Life back attack from the slimy pile. If you can't run from this, so you just gotta try and muscle your way. Okay, it's not freeze resistant, so the big scary thing with them is that they tend to be freeze resistant. Get back attack on. Yep, there you go. Got the green on the buffalo. That should allow Leslie to get to the end of this floor. Or this room, I should say. I think this is the way to the... It's not fully the way to the shining spot. I don't think, because it seemed like the only way out of that Scaraba area. It was not low enough to get the proper swirl on that Starman, but not too bad to fight. Was he going to be able to pick up some items here? Refreshing herb? Unfortunately, not helpful to the current situation. That just made a lot more enemies. You could probably take on a painting if you really wanted to get down there. These fires are foresight enemies. Could 2 plugs. Ugh. Not what you want to see. Oh, geez. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, own it. Yeah, one Jeff with 1 HP and a prayer. Can I do it? Hey IQ, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. Our Leslie is having a rough night. Temple is doing a little better on floor 9. 2 Diamond Eyes kids still trying to find the way through. Leslie Pro has 2 KO'd kids trying to find a way to get past all these awful encounters. So you can get the kids back up so you can actually do some fighting. Unfortunately, this room in Pink Cloud went nowhere. Jeez. Leslie Pro has made it back to Tucson. Will now be looking for the full heal spot. Thankfully, we do know that South Scaraba is somewhere in here. So that'll be a welcome. Oh, the fly. The fly's trying to get him. Those swooshy movements from flies and diamonds are really quite scary sometimes. We got some secret herbs. Probably going to try and revive his kids with those. We also have a complement of chickens to sell for additional cash. Unfortunately, I think this door... well, I think there's a couple ones that Leslie hasn't seen yet, but... he's going to feel mighty silly if South Scaraba's beyond Everdread's house here. He spent like 600 bucks on nothing. You could sell some chickens to get that big lead back if you wanted it. Well, instead get the T-Rex back. Pretty good. Okay, manage to evade the ghost. We'll see where Leslie goes now. Probably back through the skip. With all the kids up, you could save in North Scaraba and start a little mini grind. Right. Because these enemies will be stronger than those on the Tucson floor. So you could try and take some safe fights. Get a couple levels. That'll get you a little bit more PP. No, you don't want to do that. The fighting's going to destroy you. That's all they do. Okay, we got a nice green here. This could be a good thing, yes. Okay, these mites also only do thunder, but they tend to be extremely weak to freeze and not have much HP. Temple back in 3'd. Alright, well, we have to hope that these clouds aren't... Okay, well, they're pretty fast, unfortunately. Man, they're actually fairly tanky, too, it looks like. Jeff goes down. Yeah, I don't know, you might want to use maybe Beta. Well, it disappeared, but so did everyone but Pooh, so congratulations, Pooh. Soul Survivor, getting a salt packet. Leslie's probably feeling that right now, feeling pretty salty about this whole situation. Temple has found Gygus at 43 minutes and 23 seconds. We're gonna get the classic butts input. Leslie Pro now backtracking to go revive his kids again. If he... a little bit more wandering on Tucson, I think you can find that South Scaraba, because I think it was around there in South Scaraba it was, but... While Temple has found Gygus, This party is currently not in condition to fight him, with still 2 kids diamondized. You find a night pendant on floor 9, which is not amazing. Leslie Pro going back to an easier floor, trying to use prey strats to revive everyone, which is actually pretty interesting. I think I've seen that tech before, but it's not one that's commonly utilized because it's not reliable, of course. Temple on the search for a full heal or something else. Unfortunately, the house above is the one with the door. It tends to have enemy spawns in front of it, which is how I usually remember. That could be... I think that's the fresh egg monkey. Could also be the one that gives you Dragonite. Or not... Is there one that... No, maybe that was the fresh egg monkey. Uh-oh. Careful. Now, why are there enemies in this really tiny room? Oh, that... Oh, no, that diamond right one just got magnetized to the other diamonds in the party. Leslie trying to sell a bunch of stuff to get more secret herbs. Temple has found a save point, so once he finds a full heal, we'll be in pretty good position to attempt Gygus or grind on some Starmen to get the Diamondized kids up to par to then fight Gygus. Oh no, Northern Onet. Floor 9 is just Onet. Hopefully... didn't work. Oh! Leslie Pro did pick up the, They pick up the carrot key, so... If Leslie Pro makes it to 7, could... make that skip closer to Gygus than an Il Temple skip. Leslie Pro finds the entrance to floor 6. Gonna invest in some chickens here. On the temple side, we have the Onet shop, which tends to not have some great things. I'm pretty sure South Scaraba was in one of these doors, though. Because Temple got to 6, I'm pretty sure, from South Scaraba, didn't they? It's going to be using the fresh egg here to skip to a different part of floor 6. Hopefully one, yep, he makes it to Summers, which we've seen on Temple's side. Unfortunately, Leslie now does not have any money to buy anything, even if there was something there. Thank you, Keelball, for the subscription. Much appreciated. Yeah, there it is. There's the South Scaraba. There it is. Good job, Leslie. You found it. I was completely wrong the whole time. You don't have to mark it well. I guess if you're going through the tower and you think it could go backwards. It really could. Temple finding yet another hotel. Temple back in 3, unfortunately. Still trying to find anything to get these kids back. Leslie Pro finding more burgers does not need more burgers, has found previously found burgers, so. Yep, so the state of the game right now is Temple has found Gygus, but has yet to find the full heal, so both Ness and Paula are not in any position to contribute to the Gygus fight. Leslie Pro has been lost in the sauce for quite a while, had a very long floor 1, made it to floor 4, but then had 2 down kids, and has only just now gotten back on his feet to really make advancements in the cave. So Leslie going back to floor to South Scaraba here will likely take the skip back to North. Might skip back to North Scaraba, maybe. Yeah, we're back on floor 4. Yep. So Lesbro is gonna now skip over here, which we know is floor 6, and we know based on Temple going through here, it's fairly close to the Sanctuary spot to get on floor 7, which had a fairly quick skip onto floor 9. So while Temple has scoured unsuccessfully floor 9 for a full heal to get these Diamondized kids back up, Leslie Pro is still in it. Could very much win it if he has a better Trillion-Edge fight and manages to capitalize on things. However, we do know there's a Trillion-Edge, and Trillion-Edge has Paralyze, has Diamondize, has Flash for shenanigans. Unfortunately, I don't think Leslie has... Well, he hasn't saved, but he does have his respawn point at South Scaraba, and that is pretty close to all the warps to get back to this location, so it's not too bad. Yeah, the PSI learn rate is also randomized. You can get stuff pretty early. So it may not necessarily be 54, could be early, it could also be later. Sometimes Paula just refuses to learn Psy Shield Sigma if you're for it. Okay. Teddy Bear takes the eerie eyes for us. So the good news is floor 9 has set us up pretty well to succeed. We had the Hype Room, which had Heavy Bazooka. We found a C Pendant. A whole bunch of other items. Okay, Pooh did get Healing Gamma, so Temple decided to take things into his own hands. So with Gygus known and I believe the mouse set there, we just need to get our... I don't know who the Prayer Kid is. I really haven't seen it. I assume it's Paula. No, actually it's Pooh, so never mind. You probably still want Paula leveled up for Psy Shield Sigma if you can. But with Pooh and... Well, Jeff's HP isn't great. Pooh's HP isn't amazing either, but 270 is fairly workable. You're still kind of vulnerable to Two Thunders. Leslie Pro does make it through the Trillion-Edge fight with all kids up. So while you still need to find a skip onto 9 and then thus scour floor 9, it still could be a pretty close race, especially depending on how Gygus goes. Temple, you see here, doing a little bit of grinding for the kids who've been down for so long. Here it is. What towel? Yes, Ness has it, or who had it too? So Leslie Pro and Ill Temple are now on the same floor. Coming right out here, right by the hospital. So Leslie still has all of floor 9 to go through, which was pretty long. You had the mines. You have Onett. You have Upper Onett, which has not been explored by Temple for good reason. Because he already found Gygus in regular Onett. I think it was a hotel that had him. Wait, Leslie, why did you fight the worm and then run away from it? Oh, probably was hoping for an instant win, probably, actually. Yep, so we're on the same screen. Temple does have the advantage of course, knowing where Gygus is and all that. But at least item-wise, the C Pendant and the Heavy Bazooka and all that stuff all the equipment he has are found right off the read, which I presume Leslie Pro will find in short order as well. We've only found one pendant, so things could still be a little shaky. Pooh does not have that much HP, but he does have a lot of PP. So I think Pooh's staying alive. He has Brain Shock by now, of course. You really just have to watch out for like 2 high roll thunders landing right on Pooh and then getting KO'd while praying. I think is really the only major threat. I don't know what Paula's PP level's at. If we have a rough Porky here, I could see you know, Paula may be having trouble keeping up with the Psy Shields. Ness's HP is pretty low. Okay, we do have Psy Shield. 125 PP is pretty good, actually. We do have that large pizza, so... But the shield segment goes off first. Can we get... Okay, everybody ate the pizza. Everybody's safe. Pro finding the hype room, getting the moonbeam gun. Oh, that's right. We do have that Earth Pendant, so we do have another kid who's going to do all right. Just don't forget to give Pooh like a good pendant for the fight. Seems Pokey might be fairly paralyzed resistant. Okay, Temple going for Gygus Brain Shock round 1 strats. Oh, but Paula doesn't have Magnet Omega, so the PP recovery in this fight is pretty low for Paula. If it continues to drag, I mean, we do have the Heavy Bazooka, so it's not really as bad as it could be. However, I mean, there's always the possibility of just, if nobody else can contribute to damage, it still could take a while. Paula's eventually going to run out of PP. Okay, Flash Beta did not take anyone out, thankfully. We did not have a triple Monte of kids going down. Thank goodness. Counter PSI units. Shield Killer, not useful. Wait, did Temple not find this room? Did he never go in the bakery? Is that, I think, wouldn't that have gotten Ness and Paula back up? Because I know the, Talarama, or whatever his name is, like, he does heal everyone but Pooh, so did the Temple just miss that? Okay, Il Temple trying to do a very quick auto fight to get Paula back up. Does look like Paula was saved. I don't know if Temple got any revive items, so that could be another wrinkle. If kids start going down, then you know, we might have difficulty closing. Okay, so Pokey was paralyzed, so we just have to worry about maintaining our Psychic Shield right now. And we're on to the next phase. If Jeff has the Earth Pendant, then I think we're pretty good here. We're going to keep plugging away at that Heavy Bazooka, and with Confusion from Brain Shock, possibly assisting in the damage. We'll get there eventually, right? Well, that's Ness down. Oh, is everybody going to be solidified? Oh, no. Okay, so that round 1 went pretty poorly, all things considered. Oh, there's the Thunders. Okay, but we got Jeff back up. Paula is going to go down. We still have our Heavy Bazooka. Is Gygus freeze resistant? Yes, it is. So we're going to rely entirely on Confusion and Jeff here. And I guess Thunders. I might not even throw out my own Thunders just to kind of keep the rolling HP speed advantage as high as I could to keep Jeff up. I do think Temple is still in a pretty good position to close it out, but the Confusion here not working too well. And Earth Pendant is not perfectly resistant to Flash and stuff. So we could still end up in a bad situation where... Oh, that's a red? Oof. I guess with facing left, yeah, I guess that would make sense. Okay, we got the first prayer off. So Temple probably going to do Brain Shock here to afford him as much safety as possible. Yep. As we're probably finding Mock Pizza again. Has found Alam and is unfortunately sad that their carrot key never came into play. Although if they did get later in 4-7, then, you know, who knows. Oh. Okay, prayer's going well for Temple. I was probably finding the Onet shop, which usually kind of disappointing. It usually just has, like, cracked bats and T-ball bats and stuff. As long as Gygas isn't throwing out Thunders. $200 damage. Leslie finding upper Onet here is going for it. This is I don't remember if we actually found the entrance to floor 9, but it's possible it could be somewhere up here. Oh, running away from that fire. There's one chest here in upper Onet. It could have something decent. I don't know why Leslie went that far. Didn't have any enemies to despawn, I don't think. Oh, there goes Jeff. Still, he's only got a couple left, so as long as he doesn't get double thundered. Even with double thunder, his HP's high enough, he might just survive it anyway. Two more for Temple. Oh, managed to outrun those fires. Those are pro checking. Oh, we got two more up here. Is this it? Got one thunder, but it doesn't really matter because the last prayer will go off. And Temple finishes with a race time.gg time of 1:01:37. Get your GGs out, everyone. Unfortunately, my prediction of Dog being in the sea did not come true. So we'll see if Temple wants to come in. Chat for a bit. Really Pro. Oh. Actually, it's kind of interesting that there's a Bionic Kraken here, because this would suggest you're pretty far on the floor, but we know that the Gygas entrance is in regular Onet, not upper Onet, so Temple not going to come in for a post-game discussion. Leslie Pro, unfortunately, taking a KO here. Okay, it's back on. It's still on 4-9. Unfortunately, as we know, floor 9 doesn't really have much in the way of full heal spots. Temple just ground up Pooh until Pooh got healing Gamma. Yeah, we never actually had Temple never went through the upper Onet section, so who knows what's up there other than unless it circles back to Onet proper. We know it's not the right way. Finds the Pharaoh's Curse. Leslie Pro finding the mines. We know Onett is through this door, or is through this way. Although I think Onett circled around to Threed at some point. Maybe I'm mistaken. Temple had 36 random battles with 5 scripted battles. However, did not free any chickens, so the moral victory here goes to Leslie Pro. Leslie deciding the president at the bottom of the plain cow there, not worth it. I would also make a similar decision. You see the worm bending space and reality to get out of bounds. Unfortunately, just a regular doctor's office can't help with our KO kids. We did find the Happy Village doctor's office, which does have a nurse in it. But I think that was on our prior floor. Find the all-important ATM. Not actually all that important. I don't think there was anything too particularly useful on floor 9 to buy, although we did find some good shops in prior floors. Just gonna take Starman head on here. Though with all the stuff we found, honestly, I don't think a Starman can really do all that much to Ness. Although Ness isn't doing much to Starman either. All right, that smash got through him. We have the Holy Frying Pan, the Apollo's strongest weapon. Uh-oh. Quickly got out of there. Unfortunately, these holes are a little difficult to get back into if you need to get back into them really quickly like that. Since you spawn kind of on top of them, you have to move out of them and then back in. And Leslie finds Onett, the dreaded Onett. We know Gygas is here, hanging out in the hotel, I'm pretty sure. Okay, kitty, please leave my setup alone. I think there is an item in that room, but I can understand not wanting to take the fight with all your kids KO'd. Yep, there is a present or two in that room, but likely going to be a bunch of enemies in there. Well, we found a skip backward to floor 7. We find the winter shop. Nothing useful here. Seeing a couple of things that I don't think we saw on Temple. Ooh, Gutsy Bat. I don't think we saw that on... What towel? It's pretty great when you're in the desert. Just don't drop it. Don't drop it. Well, this must be a super. It's doing a lot more damage. It also has this. Oh, 2 smashes in a row. Didn't get a whole lot of it, but... Oh, more Belch-based stuff. Pasta December's not useful. Star Pendant? Nope. Slime Generator. Really must be scraping the bottom of the barrel for some of these. I think floor 9 would have better stuff, but you know. They're probably checking out some of the alternative doors here. Maybe Gygus is down one of them. Not checking out the ATM room. Nope, it's the house above, Leslie. Guarded by Starman. If I get the green. Oh, that diamond's gonna get you though. Oh, another green though. Lumine enemies at least. Hopefully Leslie cuts over to the left here. Charm coin, I don't think that one's particularly good compared to shiny coins, or souvenir coins are the best, I do remember that. Just chilling in a present in deep darkness and vanilla. Night pendant, for lack of better pendants you can use it, and here's Gaius. Leslie Pro not in the best of shapes to go fight Gaius, with most kids KO'd. Alright, let me guess, what a seed. What a 6-pack of... Time to set the mouse, go looking for a way to revive all our kids, and hopefully it's not through Upper Onab, because that place is a bit of a nightmare to get through. But I don't know. Temple was unable to find one, as mentioned earlier. Had to grind poo up to get healing gamma. Yeah, the mines are right over to the right. But we got, I think, 2 more doors. Oh, yeah, I've heard of the Runaway 5. Well, it really is lousy with tons of encounters, isn't it? Just storming over the place. We got mooks. Thankfully, we're faster than the mook. Yep, Leslie Pro finding the good news that you can just go back to 3 whenever you want. You know, if you ever wanted to go back to 3. These Starmen really are just popping out of everywhere, aren't they? Getting more levels on Ness, it'll help. Although, with Pooh being the prayer kid, it would help to get levels on him, of course. We're finding a lot of coins up here, but not so much in the way of pendants. I think there is a sea pendant around here somewhere. Unfortunately, I think that does kind of like I think the full heal is somewhere through Upper Onett then. I don't Leslie Pro didn't check out the Munch's house. It could be there. It could also be further through Upper Onett. I mean, we found the Bionic Kraken up there, weirdly enough. Checked all the mines, entrances, and exits. Not much in the way of options, unless you want to go back a floor, but... Floor 7 was fairly unexplored, so... While the enemies might be a little easier... It'll be a little... I guess you could still find a good present or two, potentially. Oh, that was a red. I think this is a super that's doing a lot of damage. Finding the skip back, deciding not to take it. Did get a green on the Lumine Hall enemy, interestingly. Might be high enough level that they're scared of them. Okay. So we'll get everyone back by Pooh. So that's something. Well, it was just in 3. It was in the bakery temple. I mean... it was right there all along. I think there might have also been, for Leslie, and I think... Usable Temple. I think there might have been 1 or 2 houses in both the left and right side Onett that were unexplored. I think Leslie didn't go... It's really hard to keep track of all the houses on that. I'm not super terribly familiar with it. I think there's still 1 or 2. So I think on the right side there's that one... I think both the upper and lower part of that street in the middle area, I think, are both doors you can go in. I mean, you might as well just go for it, Leslie. Like, well, maybe not if they keep doing that. Time to go visit Talarama again. Oh wait, can you only do it once? Maybe if you get rid of the, If you get rid of the Ryoga dispenser, does he give it to you again? No, those aren't running from me, Leslie. Oh no. Oh, that was pretty lucky. Yeah, they're too fast to hit. You got the heavy bazooka, though. You can go ham. Okay, did protect against flash, at least. Okay. It'll take forever to resolve. And now we get a bunch of levels on the kids. Although, with Paula and Jeff having previously been survivors, they didn't really get all that much in terms of levels. You could use your carrot key here, Leslie. Go back. Maybe hope there's a full heal. Can at least rest here and... You go through the alien room here, although it might just take you to the start of the floor. Temple didn't go through here, so we don't know what's on the other side, or nor do we know what's in that present up there. If Leslie's bold enough to try and grab it. I don't think I would try and grab it in this situation, but... You can move your Earth Pendant over to one of those kids. Now, these guys sometimes have low HP. Probably do something here. Alright, yeah, that freeze gamma did a real number on it. One of these days, Pooh's gonna need to get some EXP. I don't even know where he's at. He's been alive so little. Alright, we got more doors. Maybe the full heal's over here. Oh! Check that out. Alright, so I don't think I've ever seen this room. And seeing Ness lie down here on the ground as the door to the Paula's cabin is pretty crazy. Okay, we found our full heal spot way out of the way. Nowhere interesting. Not even through the Bionic Krakens in Upper Onett. Just at the other end of the alien base. So, as long as Leslie Pro can get some levels on Pooh, I think he picked up the C pendant. I don't recall now. He at least found that C pendant, which I think was somewhere on floor 9. Like, Pooh's invincible once you get to phase 2 and beyond. Even the Earth Pendant would probably be enough. Oh no, there's a... Not this guy. Alright, no one got possessed. And we got a broken harmonica. That's interesting. We don't need it, but, you know, it's there. Leslie's gonna try and take this present up here. What is it? Brain food lunch? That's actually a very good item. I want to give it to Pooh. Pooh has a lot of PP, so it's gonna be a pretty good panic button for him if needed. We got the fireball again. Alright, so Pooh's level's not far behind where Temple's was, so... Honestly, well... You probably want to go save, but with all the kids up, you could go save the Mousely Geiges and just send it. The Earth Pendant is probably going to be good enough for Pooh. You have the Night Pendant, you can put that on Jeff. You know, at least he won't die to Flash. Yeah, you got the money to rest. Rest, save. Now it's back to Onett. If you want to try and scour the floor some more, you can go from there. You can try Geiges. You know where the full... Oh, yeah. Get that large pizza. Both our runners doing large pizza strats. Very good strategy if you can do it. Alright, Leslie's going for it. Riley's going back to Onett. is deciding what to do. Right, so we did find a sea pennant, or Temple did find a sea pennant somewhere. I don't remember where, but I thought it was pretty early on in floor 9, so I thought Leslie would have picked it up unless it was in a room that Leslie did not venture into. There was at least one Belch-based room Leslie did not check out. All right, 124, getting our first Gygas fight here on Leslie's side. We do know that Pokey is a little paralyzed tolerant, so we'll see how quickly Leslie manages to land it. Paula has pretty good PP, so we just need to keep her up. Who? I thought you were gonna use that large pizza. Oh no, wait. He did call for it, but he didn't get it, did he? Right? He just moused over it right in. Alright, we got the numbness right away, so we're in a pretty good position to finish up part 1 here. We do have a regular pizza. Alright, gonna put on that Earth Pendant, having... Oh, maybe that's why Leslie was wandering around outside, he was waiting for the pizza. Here we go, classic throwing chicken at Gygas. I don't know if that increments the chicken's loosed count or not. But if so, Leslie will have won a great moral victory over Temple, who did not release any chickens. Only Pro being cautious here, making sure everyone's topped off before the phase changes over. Going with offense up on Ness. Not a often seen strat, but we might be able to get some strong smashes out of Ness in the next part of the Gygas phase, or even on Pokey himself. I guess you can use it on Pooh. I don't know. That wouldn't be my first choice, but... Yeah, Pooh's just doing 1 damage. I don't know if offense up is the way to go on him, even if you're trying to conserve PP. You do have a DX water, I mean... Okay, we're on to phase 2. Pooh is not invincible, but is fairly strongly resistant and does reflect thunder. So really the worst thing that could happen is a flash death getting through that Earthbend. And I don't know if Leslie has any revives. I don't think so. Used all his money to buy secret herbs, which did or did not work earlier in the game. Alright, what are we gonna do? You raise Ness's offense, but we're gonna go with that. Obviously heavy bazookas, freezes, brain shock. Oh, that's right, Okay, we got a reflection. 82 damage. Actually, yeah, I guess raising Ness's offense isn't very useful if you're going for brain shock stats, is it? You're just gonna knock him out of confusion. I was gonna get the bad news that Gygas is freeze resistant. You can go with fires, you can go with thunders, but really you're gonna be relying on old Jeff here for most of the damage. Oh, mortal damage. Ugh, solidify. They did save Ness. We're doing auto battle just so we can get him up. Get our kids back up. I did not see. If you got Pharaoh's Curse, you got to brag a Dragonite. Okay, so all of our basic attacks missed when we did the quick set. Oh, Jesus! Again. Okay, going for the quick life up. Okay, Gygus went back to normal. Thunder reflection. Thunder not reflected. Okay, we should wait for Jeff's HP to get back up before confusing Gygus again. I would go for Brain Shock. You got more than enough PP to handle. You got Waters. Thunder missed even with 4 kids up? That's pretty unusual. Lily Pro going for the damage. We made it to phase 3, folks. Phase 3. Gygus is cured to Brain Shock. We're going to go for a Prey. We'll see what Leslie decides to do here. Just to fame all the kids and praying. Okay, Paula down, Ness numb. Jeff is fine because he has the Night Pendant, who did not get smacked with a flash. Ooh, or Earth Pendant resistance. Alright, time to Brain Shock and... well, pray. Oh no, not even going for the Brain Shock, going right for the prayer. Actually, wait, did we find the diadem for Pooh? With that Earth Pendant, is Pooh fully resistant? Okay, if he's not going for Brain Shock here, you must be feeling pretty confident that Pooh can survive this. I don't think we're gonna see Leslie or Pooh's inventory again, so okay. With the diadem and the Earth Pendant, Pooh is fully resistant to fire, freeze, flash, and for that Franklin badge. Flex Lightning, so has nothing to fear from Gygus. And I did see earlier that I think a freeze only did single-digit damage on Pooh, which with an Earth Pendant it would have done at least double-digit. So we got a stunning last-minute development that I was not aware of. That it's a fight of inevitability. It doesn't matter how slow you slow Pooh down, you'll eventually get there. Unless you get frozen like 50 times in a row or something, which I guess is theoretically possible, but let's not speak that into existence. Alright, only 2 prayers left. And here we go. Any minute now. And there it is, folks. Final prayer. With the race time.gg time of 1:33:34. Leslie Pro has finished. A comment was added. I don't know how you... Howdy! You there, Leslie?
Oh, you got it, Static. The comment that I put in for the meme is pretty much how I
You
feel about
there,
how the start of
Leslie?
the seed was.
Yeah, so you did get lost in the sauce on 4-1, unfortunately. Missing the one door that would have pushed you forward.
Yeah, there's literally
Yeah, so
one
you
way
did
off
get
the floor and
lost in the
only
sauce
one
on
way, which
4-1,
was the
unfortunately.
worst case
Missing
scenario.
the one door that would have sort of advantages to you was that after scouring 4-1, you did have burgers, which, and the carrot key, and a couple of other skip items that sort of advantages Leslie, or not Leslie, that's you. Temple did not have. You did have burgers, which, so hypothetically, you had much more opportunities for potential skips. However, Temple did find the burgers at that one shop, which you also did the hypothetically later on in the seed. I think it was like floor four, maybe someone Houston. However, so the ultimately the burger skip that you both end up taking didn't hinder Temple at all because he did eventually find those burgers.
Yeah, the burger wasn't the problem. The other problem was my kids kept getting knocked out, and I was in a position where I just could not get to a heal.
Yeah, so while you were running around with only Paula and Jeff, Temple was on floor 9 with both Ness and Paula diamondized, and you both were just wandering the floors looking for something to heal your kids at the same time.
Yeah, that floor 9 was actually surprised. The only thing that floor 9 didn't have was no C pendant, no star pendant. So for Pooh, I basically had to MacGyver it with an Earth pendant and Diadem of Kings. And I was fortunate enough to find a Franklin badge as well as some offense for Gygas because that whole fight was freeze resistant.
Yeah, so Temple somewhere did find a C pennant. I thought it was on floor 9, maybe it wasn't. Um, can't quite remember where it was now. So he did have the C pendant. I don't know if he found a diadem or not. Did have the Earth pendant. I don't think he equipped the Night pendant or not. But
Yeah, I
um,
needed the night pendant on my end because I needed something to ensure that my DPS stayed alive through phase 2.
yeah, the good news was at least the hype room did come through. You did both get the heavy bazooka, so you had your offense covered there.
Which was
Temple,
absolutely necessary. And the big bottle rockets on floor 9, that's strictly for grinding, especially when
yeah,
you're not able to, especially when you don't have the speed for them to work on Gygas. They're just there in case you get anything that you just need to get rid of. Quick.
yes. Temple never entered the bakery on Threed, which is why it took him so long. He actually grinded out healing Gamma on Pooh to get his diamondized kids up and running after going through most of the floor. He also didn't go through the alien base section to find the full heal, nor the Franklin badge, which you did have as an additional advantage in the Gygas fight.
Yeah, just having that Franklin badge was just the security blanket to where I could where I honestly felt that I could just go. As well as you got a brain food lunch in case things go really sideways.
Yeah, yeah, it
So
was kind of
thinking for
inevitable.
Pooh, bases recovered on terms of defense. The only other thing left was just offense.
Yeah, but
He had a holy fry pan, so that also helped. Makes me wish I sort of saved that sudden guts pill. Oh well.
mhm. Yeah, so Um, yeah, unfortunate that both getting lost on 401 as well as having both Ness and Pooh down for so long.
And then I had Ness solo for floor 9. Then I found what I guess technically counted as one of the full heals to where Paul and Jeff was up and not Pooh. I was gonna
Yeah,
find the shop that had Horns of Life on that floor and then just use that to get going. Because at that point I knew the path. It was a big floor. Like when Central Onet is required in any form or fashion, and it's on the same floor as Threed. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's also kind of interesting that Upper Onet was there too, and after going through it, you ran into a Bionic Kraken, and that wasn't the right way at all.
Yeah, I could not get away from that. Bionic Kraken's just mean.
Yeah, and usually, the harder the enemies, the closer you are to Gygus, but he was just chilling out in downtown Onet in the hotel. As far away from Liar Exaggerates house as, well, not quite as far away as you could get from it, but
Well, to be fair, let's just say the liar was exaggerating where Gygus was.
it's, can't argue with that.
I had to sneak something like that in.
Yeah. So, our next race,
Unfortunately, that marks the end of my tournament
Mhm.
this year, and for the second year in a row, 0-2, but definitely not for a lack of trying. It's just that the seeds got me both in a row again, which is quite infuriating because I drop a 42 in practice and then can't replicate it when it matters, which is infuriating because I knew I can bust one out better than this. It just didn't happen.
Yeah. On the plus side, no dog. So it was that.
That was worth the channel point prediction, in my opinion, because with how a lot of the seeds had been rolled this tournament, there had been an awful lot of Carbon Dog.
Yeah, I had three dogs in all three of my races, and I had to fight all. I guess I didn't technically have to fight them all, but I did end up fighting them all. So
Yeah, well, the last one you fought, you just absolutely stomped a mud hole in it and walked it dry.
yeah, I was. Every dog has its day, but not that one. But
Yeah,
many
got
more days and potentially many
ecstatic.
more dogs to go. Speaking of dogs and days, we do have our next race scheduled for Monday, the first of June, I believe. Lantro versus Andy. So everyone look forward to that. Any last words there, Leslie?
Well, all I gotta say is GG Temple. Sorry I couldn't have put up a better fight, but sometimes Ancient Cave gets you, not even on the Z flags. Hey, what I can tell you is that for the race on Monday, they're doing M3. Straight up
Oh,
M3.
oh, okay. Yep. So M3 is a pretty fun flag. I explained it at the beginning of my commentary, but it does shuffle the enemy overworld and in-battle appearances. So while they'll still act the same as, say, a Pogopunk or a Mook or whatever, you won't be able to tell from appearances alone. There are some hints, obviously, what they do, but also the backgrounds if you can tell through all the different translations and other wonky effects on the background, if you can identify that, then you might have an idea of what type of enemy you're facing.
Now,
So,
well, to be fair, some of the backgrounds when they're randomized do look like pixel vomit.
yeah, and some of them are just like hard to identify in the first place. But there's some that are pretty easy, like some of the Lumine Hall ones with the stars in the background are usually pretty easy. Some of the bosses, like Carpainter, he's kind of had that big orb in the background. Clumsy Robot has that kind of wide plush shape. So there's a couple things like that. That can get, if you're familiar with your Earthbound backgrounds, you can identify. Some of them are just too transformed to really matter, but it can
So
be
that's
fun.
that. Thanks for comms,
Hmm.
Crimson. Thanks for the restream, Temple. Thanks for the race. And I will catch you all later because I do have one other tournament to get ready for, and it's a Super Metroid Map Rando Mentor tournament that I didn't practice as much because my hand had been sore. I suppose it's time I change that sooner rather than later.
All right. Well, good luck,
Thanks,
and
gonna need it.
yep, and thank you again for streaming their Crimson Green, and as well. Thank everyone for watching/lurking. Really appreciate it. Hope you tune in for the next race on Monday. Have a a good evening.